Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
I have a sixth sense.
Cheapness is not a sense.
If you are a cheapskate, please don't come to Venezuela. Don't even bother. Today, I'm explaining you why. So, let's start. Let's start by investing. If you think that if you come here with just a few $100s and you're gonna make these massive investments and you're gonna get rich on the process, you got another thing coming. First, in order to invest, of course, you have to gather some assets. And before that, I have to explain that in Venezuela, on the overall market situation, the global situation, you are not investing, you are merely speculating. That's the first point. The second thing is that regarding investing, is that it's not like you're gonna buy a cheap ETF or you are going to just buy a fraction of a property of a business here. No, that's not how things work. If you're investing here in Venezuela, you are investing either on real estate or on a physical business or on the local stock market, which is actually quite cheap. However, if you're listening from abroad, you have to know that in order to access to such investments, especially on the stock market side, you need an investor visa because you need legality, a legal presence here in order to invest, in order to then later make some purchases on real estate, businesses, stocks, bonds, you name it. So the whole process is going to be expensive. Overall, I mean, of course, if you are investing heavily on the country, you are not going to, it's going to be just a small fraction. However, if you're thinking that just with a few $100s, you are going to invest here in Venezuela without knowing what you're doing, because most likely you don't speak Spanish or you don't speak the proper Spanish, you don't have a network, you don't have anything here, you just have the information that you see on CNN or Al Jazeera, for that matter, or Bloomberg, or maybe the Wall Street Journal. However, you don't know what you're doing, you don't speak the language, you don't know anything about the Venezuelan economy. So if you think that just for a few $100s you are going to get rich here and you're going to be a king, no, that's not how things work in Venezuela. So you are just going to waste your time and probably your money. Number two is networking. You know the old saying, your net worth is your net worth. And in Venezuela, it's not that there's not only the case, but also is vital in order to be successful in Venezuela regarding your personal endeavor on the country. So what happens here in order to do networking is not like you're gonna go to a chat group or a subreddit page or Instagram or LinkedIn for that matter or Twitter, and you're gonna make a bunch of friends, a bunch of contacts, and they're gonna help you in the country. That's not the case. If you are going to do networking here in Venezuela, you have to do it the old-fashioned way. And that is boots on the ground, going to places, gather information, get to know people. People are going to introduce you to more people, and you know how networking works. So I'm not going to explain the basics of that. However, in Venezuela, you have to go to bars, restaurants, beaches, golf clubs. I mean, it's not a big deal golf here, but still a good place to do networking. Also, car shows about these, these big 4x4 cars. They are very popular here in Venezuela. Bikes, they are very popular. The sport bikes and races and stuff like that. However, regarding your common interest, your hobby, whatever, you need to make some investments. in order to increase the quality and the quantity of your network here. And you're gonna require to first spend time, spend energy, also spend some money. I'm not saying you have to throw some cash just up in the air and you're gonna get a network. It doesn't work like that. However, will be some expenses. And if you come from a country that the mindset of that country, the culture, is very frugal, let's say some countries in Western Europe is like that, or maybe in Asia, well, if you come with that mindset here in Venezuela, it's gonna seriously harm the possibilities of improving your network here in Venezuela, and your overall experience is gonna be just terrible. Number three is lifestyle. Venezuela has a very particular lifestyle that I cherish, I adore, I love my country, I love living here in my country because my country provides so much experiences that either they're basically not available on the rest of the countries all over the world, including other countries in Latin America that are quite, let's say, fun, like Mexico and Colombia, for one hand. And for the second hand, here is that if you're an average, a slightly above average male, you're gonna encounter experiences here in Venezuela that are not available to the rest of the world unless you are very, very rich, and you don't have to be rich in order to enjoy such experiences. And it's very intangible, it's very subjective, but it's there. Trust me on that one. And in order to achieve such lifestyles, such experiences, you have to spend. There's no way around it. Actually, I consider myself very frugal for Venezuelan standards. However, I know that if I want to go to a nice beach and I want to get the whole experience, or a mountain, or depending on the place, or just going eating out on a restaurant and such, it's gonna cost me money because here in Venezuela it's expensive. Not only expensive for the average Venezuelan, but also some discretionary spending is gonna be expensive even for international standards, just on that regard. Of course, if you wanna come to Venezuela and be minimalistic, you can achieve so, since that Venezuela is expensive on the discretionary purchases, but it's relatively cheap in the main important things like housing, like energy, transportation, and also healthcare. Not saying it's cheap. I'm not saying it's free, like let's say in Europe, something like that. But it's reasonable, affordable, so it's not prohibitive, expensive, because you can just get an insurance premium of 50, 80, $100, depending on the premium per month, and you're basically covered here in Venezuela. So, taking all of this, if you want to truly take advantage of the lifestyle experiences in Venezuela, you cannot be cheap. You have to expend because the most, let's say, not all, because you can find many cheap things to do here, although the truly special things about Venezuela, I'm talking on experiences and lifestyle and traveling overall, like going to Canaima or going to Los Roques, is gonna be expensive. I'm not talking crazy, Dubai, Singapore, chic, expensive, but it's gonna be, it's not gonna be $20 you're gonna spend more on those particular things. So you're not gonna take advantage of the best experiences here in Venezuela. So if you are a frugal man, a cheapskate, you're not gonna enjoy such experiences here in Venezuela. And number four is dating. If you're a man, single man that wants to date here in Venezuela, well, you already know that Venezuela is very famous. It's a top 5, top 10 countries regarding female beauty. And, well, of course, Ukrainians and such can discuss that they have better women. Well, leave it up to you. However, in Venezuela has a thing that you have access to truly beautiful women women that maybe in your home country are beyond rich because they only date millionaires or famous athletes or the local politicians, and here being middle class, high middle class men, you can actually date it. They are on striking distance. Women that on the global sexual marketplace will be out 8 out of 10. Here in Venezuela are just 6 out of 10, so are very achievable. However, if you want to date just a minimal beautiful women here, being a cheapskate is a kiss of death here. If women here finds out and just suspects that you are a cheap, frugal man, that's a kiss of death for Venezuelan dating. They're just flat out not gonna date you. They're gonna ignore you, and you're gonna strike out very badly here. So I'm not saying that you just have to ball out, just throw money like no tomorrow. However, you're gonna have to make some expenses in order to get the experiences in order to be successfully dating here in Venezuela. Otherwise, if you have a problem with that, don't even bother dating Venezuelan women. And also, I will say don't even bother on dating beautiful women overall, because in order to get beautiful women, you have to spend money. If you don't like spending money, I'm gonna say just settle with a less beautiful woman. Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, venezuelainsider.com. Thanks again and have a nice day.